Hello everyone. I am going to be starting a series of videos on a project I've been meaning to get to. It's been in the back of the shop for a while now. I got to get it done. I have to get this truck out of the shop. This is a rust-free California truck. Bullnose 1986 with a 302 two-wheel drive automatic. It's sat for a long time. I got it in, changed out the fuel, changed fluids. I got to put tires on it. The tires are bad, weather checked, rotted. There's supposed to be 120,000 miles on this truck. I had to put tie rod ends into it. They were pretty sloppy, but I got that all done. It runs and drives really nice. The brakes are brand new on it all the way around. I didn't do that. That was done. Must have been before it was parked. It's sun faded. It's been used. It is, a truck. But for what it is a really clean truck actually. You can see that I think there was a bed liner in here. So the bed itself, these are just pine needles and junk and stuff in here. It's in really nice shape. A little bit of patina rust on the edges. I don't really care about the patina. I just plan to use this truck kind of as a shop truck. Need it for running parts, picking stuff up. You can see the interior is pretty nice as well. The seat is in good condition. Plastics, the door panels, the dash, the hot California sun, typical cracking. The lower part of the dash is in really nice shape. There is a small crack here in the dash and a small one there. I'm not worried about that at all. I plan on using the truck like a truck. I'm going to try and take care of it as best I can, but yeah, I'm not going to be easy with it, I guess you would say. This panel as well, you can see really sun faded and actually baked to where it's like chalky. I know there's a couple of these trucks in the local pick and pull. I might just see what there is for interiors. Maybe if there's some nice door panels or something in them, I'll pull them off. Maybe a dash pad. That's pretty easy to change out in these trucks. Little parts. You shouldn't want too much for them. If they're cheap enough, I'll get them and fix it up. But nice solid truck. Like I said, it's a 302. And I like these older trucks. When I was looking for a truck for the shop, this is pretty much what I was looking for. So we'll get this out of the shop. And then I have a guy's Trailblazer SS. There's quite a bit done to it. If you look back in my older videos, I think it was like 4 videos back now, I did exhaust on this truck. 4-inch, I believe it was, all the way back. Stainless with a dump. Yeah, Trailblazer SS Turbo. Pretty cool. And then the project, it's dark back there, but it's way back in that corner. I'll get it pulled up here and, well, I'll get it pulled up a little bit closer and get this Trailblazer out of the way, and we'll take a look at what we're going to be working on. And here we are. This is a 2010, I think. Subaru WRX hatch, wagon, whatever you want to call it. This car picked up not running, and it has not ran for quite some time because there is rust in the gas tank. The fuel pump and stuff was rusted up. It was parked apparently because it had what they said was a rod knock. Yeah, the lighting isn't good at all. Interior's in really nice condition. Car overall is in really nice condition. I don't know how long it's sat. Like I said, it's long enough that it started to rust in the gas tank. I got the fuel pump out and I changed it. I put a Walbro in. That's all ready to go back in. There is some rust in the gas tank itself I have to clean out. But before I pull this motor out, I want to put that fuel pump back in and cycle it and see if I can't get this to start, just so I can hear for myself what it sounds like. I will be tearing the motor down either way, but it's just nice to know what they were talking about. I did get a short block, full sort, not a full, it's just a short block, no heads on it. That was pulled out of a similar car. I don't know if it's an STI or a WRX, where a guy was doing a full build on. The motor, there was nothing wrong with it. He was just going to an all forged internal motor and had no use for the short block. I guess it's a low mile short block. I don't know exact miles. I think there's a tag on it. I think it was like 64,000 miles or something. So I have that if need be. But first, like I said, I want to get the fuel pump in here. I'm going to hook up just the feed side. The return I am going to dump into a container because I don't know. Like I said, that fuel pump that was in here originally was rusted up and was not working at all. So whatever bad fuel is in the lines and the fuel rails and filter and all that junk, I don't want dumping back through the fuel sending unit. I can show you here. The fuel sending unit, there's that big turbo on the LS. LS60, I believe it is. The fuel sending unit, here it is. This is the fuel sending unit. I completely cleaned this out, and you can see there's some remnants of dark kind of rust staining here. That won't hurt anything. But yeah, like I said, I put a Walbro in here, and you can see I got to figure out which one is the feed, but the return, everything goes through the inside of this, and there's actually like, I don't know if it's a charcoal filter or something. There are cavities and whatnot inside of the sending unit. And if there's a bunch of junk in that, in the fuel lines and filter and the rails and stuff, I do not want it dumping back into this now clean sending unit. All right. After much deliberation, I decided to forego putting the pump in the tank and dealing with all that. We are just going to go straight to the fuel rails off the motor, off the can. It is an inline pump from some vehicle I pulled off. I've used it for transferring all kinds of fluids, but so we're just going to hook. I got the fuel pump hooked up. Go straight into the line. I marked the lines. I use tape or zip ties color coded, so I know that this is the feed line, and here's red. This is where it came from originally in the car. After I am done doing all the work on the motor, the building and everything, I put it back in, I know which line goes where. And a weird question, what is Subaru's idea of 1, 2, 3, 4 connections within a foot of fuel line. Oh, why? And you know you're getting a top quality build car when you see aquarium hose. Guaranteed to be a good one. Now I know what you're thinking. Yes, that is a sweet gas can. Okay, so we got this hooked up. Just have to power up the pump. Oop, oop. I can hear fuel going through the rails. Don't see any leaks. Let's see if it starts up. Maybe I should have got a fire extinguisher ready. Oh. One injector is working. One. Oh, what does that sound like? I don't think that sounds like a rod. No, that is very loud. That is not a rod. Every light on the dash is on. What is that? That is not a rod knock. Disconnect fuel. I'm glad the injectors work. I was totally expecting the injectors to be froze up, rusted shut, never to work again. That sounded to me very bad. I don't really know. Definitely not a rod knock. That is way more pronounced, way more solid than a rod knock. To me, it sounds like something in the cylinder, like the piston hammering something against the head. Huh. And it sounded like the driver's side. I didn't want to run it too long because if it is something salvageable, it was running on all 4 cylinders. I don't want to hurt it too bad. I don't know how far the guy drove it after it started making the noise. I don't know what his deal was, what happened with it. I have a little more hopes now for this car. Hearing it run is good. And it makes me feel better. I want to start it up again. I want to hear that more, but I'm scared of, like I said, hurting something more than it already is. If it is something in the cylinder bouncing around or getting hammered, I don't want to destroy valves. I think I'm almost going to have to start it up one more time just to listen a little bit better which side it's coming from. All right, I'm going to give it one more quick run here. Like I said, I just want to see which side, if I can tell, the noise is coming from. And I am fairly certain it is a ringland that is making the noise. Ringland. One of the 2 common problems with the Subaru motors, I guess. One is rod noise or rod bearings getting wore out, and the other is ringlands cracking, especially if a car is driven hard, which this one, having the few mods that it does, I'm assuming was driven hard. I don't know if the guy did track days with it or just beating on it in general. Oh, I just noticed there is a Gates timing belt sticker up here on the hood. That's cool. There is only 110, I think, 1,000 miles on this car. Not a real lot. So let's give it another run and a quick listen. And hopefully we don't have a more catastrophic failure here. Like I said, I am super glad that those injectors are working. I was worried about them. I'm still going to have them sent out to be cleaned just to be sure, but I'm glad that they work. Man, that sounds horrible. It does sound like the passenger side in the rear. Wow. I don't know if you could hear, although it sounded like a lot, I was only revving it up to 1,500, maybe 2,000 RPM, just to give it a few quick blips there. And you can hear, not on the way up and not on the ramp down, but just randomly in between, the noise would go away for a very, very split second. That is a pretty good telltale sign that it is a ringland. And obviously, it sounds 100% like a ringland. Does not sound like a rod at all whatsoever. So we will be pulling this motor out. You see, previous owner did get a slight start on it. He pulled the front end off, which you don't need to do, but I guess stuff is out of the way. That helps for us, I guess. He has the belts off of it, the hoses off the radiator. It looks like it's just sitting in here. I hope you guys subscribe and watch this journey. The videos on this will not be, what do you call it? Sequential, subsequential, one right after another. I am going to jump around because I do have other work I have to keep up on. This is my free time ish work. I'll keep you guys updated. I am going to start on it today. I have a few hours here. I'm going to start pulling top stuff off, unhooking lines, hoses, get the airbox off. The AC, I am probably just going to drain to make it easy. There are some cars where I'll pull the pump off and lay it on the side and keep everything intact to keep it full. Put it back on when I'm done. This one I think I'm just going to drain so I don't have to worry about. So I found something interesting. As you see, I did leave the lines on the AC pump. I just put it off to the side like I typically do. It was going to be a pain in the ass either way, so I figured might as well go full pain in the ass and just put it off on the side and work around it. So what I found, hopefully this comes out of here easily now. I just, there's a little hose on there yet. On the blow-off valve, a recirculating valve. All depends on the car. And a good telltale that a Subaru, a turbo car, is being a little abused is the guy clamps the plastic end tanks on the intercooler. Look at that. These are aluminum C-channel that run down, and he bolts it together to hold the end tanks on. Now, the guy must have been pushing so much boost at the tanks. Either a tank blew off and he just went to stick it back on, or it was flexing and starting to leak, or he was preemptively clamping that together because he knew that he was pushing stupid amounts of boost that he knows this intercooler cannot take. Grandma driven, babied all its life, never taken over 3,000 RPM. Never ever raced, for sure. Who would race a turbo car? Not me. Nope, nope. Oh, look at that, that's cool. Transmission dipstick is underneath the intercooler. Oh, wow. I don't know if you can see that. Fluid is clean as a bell in the transmission. All right, I've got some more stuff here. I got power steering lines. This again, I might just pull the pump, put the pump on the side so I don't have to deal with the fluids. I got wiring disconnected on this side. Everything on this side is disconnected except for power steering here. That side, I got the main wires, ground cable and the main positive to the starter to disconnect. And then I think I just have the downpipe, motor mounts, and bell housing. We can get this pig out of here already. Exciting times. All right. Wow, I am done up here on the top. The only thing I left is the bell housing bolts in the back. So I'm pulling them off on the bottom. I don't want the motor moving around and whatever. I got all but one of the downpipe bolts. Whoever put that on must have believed that that is holding the entire universe together, because those bolts were wholly tight. I got one underneath yet, the hardest one to get to. I'm hoping to get it from the bottom. They have it rounded off pretty well. I'm not super hopeful to get it off. I may have to cut it off or even cut the downpipe. And once I get it out, I'll get it off, weld the downpipe back together when I reinstall it. Not a big deal either way. So now I have to get the car up and get underneath, get the motor mounts, get the lower bell housing bolts, and I think that is it. I'll know when I get underneath there. I don't think there's anything else, just those two things. All right, got everything disconnected. All the bell housing bolts are out. I did get that nut off that downpipe. That was a royal. I actually had to grind down the box end of a wrench. I keep tools that I find in cars and stuff over the years, and I just happen to have a 14 millimeter that I found in some car, and it was some generic brand wrench, and I was able to grind down the box end and get it to fit on that nut, and I got it broke free and got it off, luckily. So yeah, we're ready to get this motor out. I did pry in between the bell housing and the motor a little bit already. I didn't lift on here yet, but I did not see it move much at all. So I'm assuming the dowel pins, the alignment pins, and there's 2 studs on the bottom of the motor that go through the bell housing of the transmission. I'm assuming those are all pretty well stuck. So it's going to take a little work to get them to separate, but everything is disconnected. I mean, everything that I see. There are times where there's unforeseens that are hanging up, but let's see if we can get it to move out of here. It's free of the motor mounts, but stuck very well on the transmission. That's holding it. Okay, got the transmission supported, and it should just fall right off of there. And we're going to chisel a little bit on the top end here. Bigger hammer. January 3rd in Wisconsin, and it is raining outside. I know this is gonna mar up the case here in this one spot, but I am doing this in a spot that really doesn't matter a whole lot. There's no mating surfaces besides in between the transmission and motor right here. And I can easily file down this area and clean it up. Clean it up after I get these separated and out. Exhaust heat shield. Right. I think everything is clear. Something hanging up? Yes, no, maybe. That's a good one. On Subarus, to cause a check engine light and shut off your cruise control. All because of a little either gas cap leak, some kind of air leak in your fuel system. Oh, hood. And there it is. Subaru engine out. I think you can see now these were the studs I was talking about that go through the transmission. You see they're not rusty. And right here are the dowel pin holes, right there and right here. A little bit further down from the top. You can see this is marred up a little bit where I was using a chisel. Like I said, that's not a bad spot right there. I'll file that up, clean that up. While we are in here, oh no, this is an Exetti clutch. So they put a clutch in. Yeah, I'm sure more grandma miles. I bet you this car had an easy life. Okay, the motor is out. The next step will be tearing it down. I hope you guys join me, continue on this adventure. It should be interesting. I'm hoping there isn't too much carnage inside. I'm hoping the heads are okay. Like I said, I have a short block. So if worse comes to worse, I should be able to just bolt the heads on the short block, reassemble it, and put it back in. I'll see how bad this one is inside. Maybe I can salvage it just throwing a piston in it. We will see. It would be nice because then I still have that good short block I can sell and recoup some money for parts towards this one, because parts aren't cheap. And subscribe so you can see future videos of this pile. All right, have a good day. Night, evening, whenever you're watching this.